Good evening, everyone, and welcome to CoSM's Winter Solstice Ceremony. I am Alexa Spatty, joining you live from the Great Hall in Entheon, Sanctuary of Visionary Art. How's everyone doing tonight? Yeah! Oh, wow. Very good, very good. I'm assuming we're doing good then. Great. Well, whether you are here with us in person or tuning in from the World Wide Web, we are so grateful for all of you being part of this sacred gathering. On this longest night of the year, we come together to honor the beauty of this moment, the turning of the seasons, and the return of the light. So let's take a collective breath. I love doing this. Breathe in. Let's release the year behind us and open ourselves to the magic of this space and this amazing community. Are you ready to have the best night of your life? Are we ready? Are you ready to embrace the mysteries and inspiration of this transformative evening? Are we ready? Amazing. Well, then let's get right to it. To begin this special night, it is my great privilege to welcome our hosts of the evening. Please put your hands together for CoSM founders and visionary artists, Alex Gray and Allyson Gray. Give it up for them. Look at them. Let's go. Yeah. Give it up for them.
Wow, wow. We made it. We're all here. We planned it. We thought about it. We got our shit together and we made it and we're here. We're here. It's time. Oh, how wonderful.
Right. It's the longest night, but us all being together brings a real luminosity to the space, I have to say. You know, so I think that, and I have to say, this may be one of the largest gatherings this year. So thank you all for coming out. What you're doing is helping to build this strange dream that artists concocted, and this space was merely a dream,
It was a vision.
21 years ago that we never had any idea how it would happen. I mean, we talked about it all the time.
We would go all over the world, and Alex would, get invited to speak, or we would both get invited to speak later on. And then we would show pictures of, our vision, our inspiration of what we wanted to do, which came in 1985, when the sacred mirrors, a lot of them had been painted already, but they didn't have frames, and they needed a context. They needed their frames to give them a context. And then we realized, well, it's an installation. It's a participatory kind of interactive, feeling the vibrations of the painting kind of interactive thing. And we want to share this with people. This was all about creating an experience on LSD or, on psychedelics, basically. But, for anyone who wanted to be elevated, I mean, even, on the Natch, anyone. A healing force kind of thing.
A sacred space. And since a number of people who'd had psychedelic kind of mystical experiences had seen similar kinds of spaces, it's like a way to honor the experience. And generalizes that experience. So even if it didn't look exactly like that, we know what they were talking about. And so a connection with the infinite has always been, I think, the source of sacred reality, and that's always been the inspiration for temple building. So celestial occasions like the winter solstice, which is remarkable in Western civilization and throughout the world, it seems like the morphogenetic field built up around these times, the full moon, the solstices, the equinoxes. Humanity has gathered at these times. So we feel it in ourselves, even if, there's something in us drawing us together that has been part of the human story.
And so we've been meeting since 2003, January of 2003. So we're about to hit our 22nd year. It's coming up in January. And yeah, it's amazing. And we've never missed one, okay? There's always every full moon. So do join us for a full moon as well. And the equinoxes and solstices got added on and became even bigger events, actually. So that happens quarterly. And the Deities and Demons Masquerade Ball. And that's how we get to see all of our friends, Just invite them. And anyway, well, this is the night of the winter solstice. So we're going to, okay. Oh, we have the clicker.
Thank you. Very good. Well,
essential.
yeah, and I just wanted to acknowledge that, by your being here, you are supporting this effort to build sacred space. As contemporary people, we don't necessarily have to have an affiliation with a known religion. We think of creativity as a kind of spirituality. We're in touch with creative spirit. So, and all the religions had, creative expression. So, in a way, you could say you're connected with all of the traditions, even if you don't have a specific one.
So we're going to talk about, the shortest day, which just ended, and the longest night. Mm-hmm. I think it happens for a few days. It's like maybe 3 days.
Yeah.
Solstice, okay, well, we'll get to that. Well, look who's here. Hello. Well, I just want to say that Rosie was at the first full moon, so, in January of 2003, and there she is. She's here with us in the front row. A board member, yes. It's been a long journey together.
Sacred years.
And thank you, Dr. Mike, as well. We're going to be doing sand mandala with them tonight. But continue. Let's talk about the winter solstice.
Right. Okay. So solstice. Sun stands still.
Sun stands still.
So that's what's going on now at the top of the hill. Here at CoSM. It's at the most southerly kind of direction, and as you kind of well know, I like to get kind of orienting generalities, and they say that 14 billion years ago there was nothing, and now there's all this. I just wanted you to
all of this happened since then.
Yeah. And this is only, of course, a tiny sand fleck in the infinite cosmos. And this is supposedly an array of the superclusters, the known superclusters. Those spots of light are superclusters of galaxies.
This is supposedly the image of the universe. But I cannot not ask what happens when you get to where the black hits the colorful orb there. I mean, you fall off the edge there. No, I mean, how could it be? How could it ever be not a field?
It's flat. The
It's
cosmos
flat.
is flat. Yes.
All right. Well,
We've solved it.
we're not
Yeah.
experts. We don't know this.
Of course,
All
we're
right.
painters. That might have something to do with it. anyway, our local galaxy and our star, the sun. So, of course, everything is like powered by the sun, and we're light beings, I mean, we're, I guess, just cracking sunlight when we're eating plants, right? Because they have chlorophyll, that miracle. So, thank you, sun. Thank you. All the great traditions, certainly the Egyptians worshiped the sun.
There's a great blue marble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the circle, that's the kind of the symbol of spirit. What's interesting about the Earth, and they think that we got hit by something. Maybe it was the moon, maybe it was something else, and it tipped us off of our normal axis. So we're about 23 and a half degrees, and that gives us the seasons, Now we're tipped away from the sun, and so it's a little colder. And in the summer, we're tipped toward, like that. So it's interesting.
Right.
We're tipsy.
It goes in the other direction. Now,
Yeah.
if you were to walk up to the meadow every sunrise, like if you decided, every day this year, I'm going to go up at sunrise and watch the sunrise, that meadow, it's where the sun rises, east. So, you can see on the horizon that every day it moves to a different spot along that line until it gets to a solstice, which is at the end. And then it stands still for 3 days. So it looks like it's coming up at the same place for 3 days. And then if you keep going, every day it goes back the other way until it gets to the solstice on the other side. It's, we are in a very, very special location here. That is the meadow, and that is the sunrise at the meadow. It's, it doesn't tell you where you are along the path except for that it's autumn. So, but
Now that is the
Because you can
winter
see.
solstice.
that is the winter solstice sun.
That was
Thank
like
you.
this morning.
It
yeah.
was not this morning.
No, I know.
It was not this morning. I know it was not this morning. But anyway.
I work fast. Yeah, but that was probably last year.
Last
But
year.
we put it up there because so this is a map of the property. Okay, you got
That's us.
It's basically and we're like right in the center there. You can or over to the corner there. But what's interesting is as soon as we got here, we could see that a human figure, could fit on the land there, and you could have this mythology of the lady of the land, who's like on this hill, because this is a hill. It goes
So much like a sacred mirror in proportion, don't you think?
Exactly,
Yeah.
and so the driveway that you come in is exactly halfway in the property. So it's right down there at the feet. You can imagine like the driveway is just coming up the feet there. And up at the top of her head, there is a cistern. If you've taken a walk on the Wisdom Trail, you'll see this kind of thing. And it's really an old cistern that we painted in a beautiful way, and now it's our solar temple. So it's...
And when you come back and it's really lovely out, you can climb in there, actually. There's actually like stumps and things that people have put up against it. And we built a deck inside,
Yeah,
so
there's
nothing
like
would
a
fall
floor,
in.
a deck. You could
But
hang out up
hang
there.
out there.
Yeah, and so in the future, I foresee some kind of event on the winter solstice, the longest night deep in the cistern.
Yeah, we're going to have a ladder that goes all the way down to the bottom.
That's an extra.
Yeah,
So
it's a different ride.
So
This
at
is
any
another
rate-
ride that Alex has.
Oh yeah. Well, this is the future. See, I'm living in the future, and I'm seeing like, wow, wouldn't it be cool if you could put like an eagle up there, like that's rising out of the ground, and so it's like this. See, it's got its
You would
mouth.
stand between the beak, you see, and you'd look out, and it would
Yeah.
hit the summer the summer rays would hit the beak, you know, on the winter
Right.
solstice, maybe, or maybe it would be the summer
these are
solstice.
actually on the equinox.
In the equinox, that's
on
what
the
I thought,
equinox,
yeah.
the eagle would be refed. You know, it would come through the little hole there, and it would eat the sun twice a year.
Okay.
At any rate, that's the idea, okay? Well,
Now-
and of course, now venerable sacred spaces have, you know, aligned themselves with the sun. And that's all we're talking about.
So
is
the
like,
Stonehenge is an example of that the sun comes in. I do believe it's at the, is it at the winter solstice? It's the winter solstice, summer solstice.
so, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But anyway, there it is, doing its thing. Look at them.
yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and a lot of them, the stone circles, do that, and certainly the Sphinx has a sunrise. When were we there? We were there in the pause
That
of the
was the
Sphinx
equinox.
on the equinox. Yeah, but
That's-
anyway, there we are.
it's
Go
dewy.
back here.
Okay. All right. We were there.
Yeah,
Yep.
we went there just this year. It's amazing. You should go. If you ever go to London, you got to go. Make the trip. It's not very far.
Yeah.
It's a sacred space. It's so awesome. Keep going. Oh well, now we have some reading to do here. Can you help me? Because
Sure.
I've got horns and things. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, Diwali. Just in case you don't know what Diwali is, I wanted to. Oh, damn. Sheesh. All right. It's a little tenuous up here. Diwali, from the Sanskrit word Deepavali, a row of lights, is celebrated by Hindus around the world, marking the beginning of the new year. The holiday celebrates victory of good over evil on community and personal levels. Rejoicing, feasting, and making amends, along with lighting candles and bonfires, honors the forces of brilliance and goodness over darkness and ignorance. And in the words of Mahatma Gandhi, Diwali is a reminder and an opportunity to be the change you want to see in the world. We've always heard that. Yeah. Okay, so that's Diwali.
Beautiful.
And then we have the Daigan Festival, the ancient Persian Zoroastrian, and yeah. So we have winter solstice is dedicated to Ahura Mazda, god of light and wisdom. Many places in the world celebrate the winter solstice, is what we're trying to say here. And we're going to give a few examples of it throughout the world.
I love that flying disc. Yeah. You were talking about,
Yes,
here's
the Temple of Karnak. Okay, so
right.
that's the winter solstice. They all have, you know, there is a place in I believe it's New Hampshire, where they have the American Stonehenge. Has anybody seen American Stonehenge in New Hampshire? Oh, you guys, I'm serious. You can go there. If you're ever going up that way, you really should look into it. We did the tour, and it is an incredible stone, ancient. They have no idea how old it is. The red paint people made it. But there are places like this all over the world that are calendars, and the American Stonehenge is a calendar as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the I Ching, you know, Taoism. Well, I have to say, the reason why you wanted to put this in, the reason why we used this one, that is the winter solstice hexagram. Does anybody know how to throw the I Ching? There's like 64 hexagrams. And the one for winter solstice is that one, and it's called Fu, return, the turning point. So it is a turning point. The above kun is the receptive earth, and the below chen is the arousing thunder. So it's, you know, it's one of the hexagrams. It represents winter solstice.
It's beautiful.
Okay.
I love that too. That also the shadow of, say, a peg, you know, will wind up looking like a yin yang symbol, you know, over the year, and just in terms of the shadows cast. And
That's amazing. That's probably where the yin yang symbol came from, I would imagine. But winter solstice is considered the most yin day of the year. I can't really explain that, but...
Well, no, it's the dark, the dark and the light, so you divide it up like that.
Now, this is pronounced Amaterasu. And Amaterasu is the sun goddess of the Shinto religion of Japan. On the winter solstice, Amaterasu emerges from her cave to bring sunlight back to the universe. These are snippets, reductions of enormous stories of value. So if you're interested in these, and it may be even because it's part of your heritage or your past life, who knows, but you may want to look into the sun goddess of the Shinto religion of Japan.
Love that. The Shintos always believe that you should build a temple on a hill.
That's right.
And that the idea of ascension should be part of the physical experience. So we felt very fortunate to be on a little hill here.
Yeah. The Inca Festival of the Sun. Well, a religious ceremony honoring the sun god Inti, the most venerated deity in Inca religion. The ceremony was also said to symbolize the mythical origin of the Inca people. So the Inca
people of the light
celebrated the winter solstice.
Hey, we saw this happen in Mexico.
We just saw this.
Yeah, this is very cool.
It's the time of the year, and they're doing this. But this picture was taken in Guatemala, but they were doing it in Mexico City just like last week.
Yeah.
We were walking through a park, leaving the Natural History Museum, and there they were in the sky. We've shown this picture for a decade. I've never, but to come and encounter it, it's actually pretty amazing.
Yeah. No, they were obviously professionals.
Yeah, well, it's St. Thomas
from
Day.
Their ankles.
Yeah, December 21st is St. Thomas Day in the Christian calendar in Guatemala and in Mexico. Mayan Indians indulge in the ritual known as Palo Volador, or flying pole dance. Men climb atop a 50-foot pole, and one beats a drum and one plays a flute. The other men wind a rope attached to the pole around 1 foot and jump. They climb up there and they jump. You can see where they climb. Keep going.
Yeah.
Junkanoo. Junkanoo is a street parade with music, dance, and costumes in Jamaica on Boxing Day, December 26th. So
Wow.
Boxing Day also.
Look at the visionary quality of these angels,
And the
Really
costumes.
amazing.
Incredible
Yeah.
artistry.
Chalmos.
Chalmos. During winter solstice in the ancient traditions of the Kalash people of Pakistan, a demigod returns to collect prayers and deliver them to Dezayo, the supreme being. Following ritual purifications, a great festival begins with singing, dancing, bonfires, and, of course, feasting.
Well,
We're going to do some of those,
we
too.
got the bonfires. We got and the light. Obviously, the fire, lighting the fire, is part of these ceremonies.
Now, Hogmanay is Norse winter solstice inspires celebration in Scotland. So in Scotland, they celebrate Hogmanay. And one thing that we don't have a picture of, and I've never found a picture of this, but I saw it on television. We both did. It was the Scottish people walking through fire. They're walking on fire, and they carry their spouses on their shoulders or on their back. They don't just walk on fire, they carry another person when they're walking on fire.
I'm endangering my beloved.
And that's the winter solstice, it's Hogmanay. But here's a picture, the next one. It's a big festival. I mean, it's the Guinness Book of World Records lists Auld Lang Syne as one of the most frequently sang songs in English. And you can just visualize all these people are singing Auld Lang Syne. I don't know if you can see the sign. It says Hogmanay on it. But it's being celebrated even today, Isn't that great?
Yeah. It's
They're
amazing.
walking on fire. And well, we're jumping around in history here. This is the
think.
ancient Greek festival of the wild women.
Lanai.
Lanai. You can't really want to miss the wild women. The Lanai was an annual Athenian winter festival with a drama competition of comedies, tragedies, and satires. The Lanai was associated with the rebirth of Dionysus from a wine press.
Yeah.
In the forest, a man or bull representing the god, Dionysus, was torn to pieces and eaten by Maenads. Later in the ritual, a baby was presented representing Dionysus reborn. So just interesting how people celebrate. I mean,
We got to bring that back.
They have lots of stories around this. It's a
We're
huge
getting ideas
tradition.
for next year.
They're creative. They're creative performances, meant to stun and like bring on altered states and whatever. All right, Saturnalia. Long before Christ's birth, the Romans had a post-harvest festival in December called Saturnalia in honor of Saturn, a god of agriculture and fertility. At this harvest festival, the social order was inverted. Masters would serve their slaves. This was the beginning of carnival, or carnival in some countries, the root word carnal, meaning flesh or meat, public nudity, wife and servant girl swapping, public drinking, and philandering were condoned. Do we condone? Yes, of course we do. All right, Sol
Invictus.
Yeah.
Now, this was like celebrated in Rome on December 25th. It was the rebirth of the sun. So solstice, the 21st here, sun stands still for like 3 days, And then the rebirth, really, of the light happens on the 25th. So that's why, Christmas has been held off in that way to align with the kind of mythically with the heavens.
With the rebirth, not with the death of the light, but the rebirth when it starts to come in the other direction. It's very much like, and we're just on Hanukkah, so I can mention this, the Hebrew calendar starts on the new moon, but the real start of it is only when you see the tiny little crescent appearing. It's not when it's completely black. It's when the tiny crescent is appearing. That is the beginning of the month. And then it goes to a crescendo, the full moon, which is the high tide of the spirit. It's the full moon, and then it goes back to waning. So anyway, but as long as we're doing the Jewish beat, why not tell the story of Hanukkah? I'm going to brief you. Many people don't really know, why do we celebrate Hanukkah? I mean, Hanukkah, well, this is the story. Over 2,200 years ago, a great battle took place in Jerusalem, in the Holy Land of Israel, where the Jews had built the Second Temple. Greek king Antiochus had decreed unlawful all Jewish practices and imposed mandatory worship of Greek gods on penalty of death. The army of Antiochus slaughtered a pig in the temple and sacked all the precious objects made of gold and silver. The destruction of the temple incited the Jewish revolt, in which the Maccabees fought off the Greek-Syrian army. The temple's eternal flame, the menorah, needed oil, and there was only enough to keep the menorah lit for a single day. Miraculously, the flame burned for 8 days, while Judah Maccabee brought back the oil needed. So that is the story that we celebrate when we celebrate Hanukkah. And just so you know, it is a lesser holiday in Judaism, really, because even though it was a battle, it doesn't appear in the Torah. Wait a second, my turn. Here we go. It doesn't appear in the Torah, which is the 5 books of Moses, and it just happened 1,000 years later. So that is it. This is the menorah, and the menorah is on the left. On my left, maybe it's on, I don't know. Anyway, it's, the 8 candles represent the 8 days, and then the shamus is in the middle where you light all the other candles. And then there's the latkes, which is, Jewish is a way of eating. And then there's the gelt. So on every day of Hanukkah, people get guilt. That was the idea. It wasn't so much a little gift every day, but you give money, and you give money so you can play this game. This is the game. It's called a dreidel, and the dreidel has rules. The nun is lose a turn. The gimel is take all. Hey is take one, and shin is give one. So you have these different. You spin the dreidel, and where it lands. You play with candy usually. Well, money. I mean, the gelt that you got, you played this. So anyway, you'll see dreidels around, and that's what that's all about. I just thought maybe, But here's, the newest religion. Is Kwanzaa, is an African American celebration of cultural reaffirmation, one of the fastest growing holidays in the history of the world. It took root 30 years ago when graduate student Malana Karenga, who was disturbed by the 1965 riots in Los Angeles, decided that African Americans needed an annual event to celebrate their differences rather than the melting pot. Not a religious holiday, Kwanzaa is rather a 7-day celebration that begins on December 26th and continues through January 1st. So let's go to the next one. Malana Karanga created Kwanzaa in 1965 as a first specifically African American holiday. According to Karanga, the name Kwanzaa derives from a Swahili phrase, matunda e Kwanzaa, meaning first fruits of the harvest. But anyway, it's celebrated, and it has a number of guiding principles, 7 guiding principles, which includes, I'm just going to read them quickly, and if you'd like to know more about it, it's so easy to look for these, what it all means, which is very interesting. Unity, self-determination, collective work, cooperative economy, purpose, creativity, and faith. I think those are wonderful principles. So we'll move on, though, to Merry Christmas. This is Alex's original faith, and Judaism is mine. So it's, we came together in oneness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting having the, that kind of historical background, which is so common in America, the Christian kind of upbringing. Mine was Methodist, which is fairly nonviolent in a way, and so I never had anything against Jesus. I love Jesus, and he kind of followed me with his eyes and stuff. So I had a good connection, and of course I always loved presents, so Christmas was cool. And now, like later, I had my issues, with organized religion and everything like that, but the light that Christ represented to me was always something good. It's like if there is something good in the universe, and you can incorporate it in your life, or you can, what's good? Love, healing, people caring for each other. He was a carpenter, so he was like an artist. He was like, he built stuff, and understood about that, and about like telling stories. Like stories are really like important to people, and they become like parables and things. So this light of spiritual intelligence that was represented by this figure, who's like more or less the avatar for Westerners. Like in the East, you've got so many choices. Like good grief, it's kind of like, no, we got one guy, and so. That's a lot to put on somebody. He never like asked for that either. Really. He was okay. So right. So this is Rembrandt, and the light. I always felt the light in the manger was the light in our hearts, and that Christ is like representing what's best in us, or what is our best, highest possibility and highest aspirations. So I always felt positive like that. And you want that to celebrate the rebirth of that spirit in you, whatever that light is, the creative spirit. We have Botticelli here, beautiful paintings throughout
I love all those
Western
angels
history.
that were lingering and dancing around up there.
They're
and on the
happy.
ground too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
And so angels celebrate it, and it's a family. So it's if we are healed inside of ourselves, we have a holy family of cells. Basically, it's like mother, father, and the new. You know, we are the combination. We are the synthesis, and that renewing symbolism is just something that I think is still archetypally useful. Now, this is just a close-up of the cosmic Christ there. You can see it's just a detail. And now, this is a painting that is weirdly increasingly relevant if you've been paying attention to the plasmoids and orbs and various things that appear. They're all over that painting, which is like 24 years old. And so how do you follow a star to a manger? Follow a star. So there was something moving and directing people. You know,
an alien.
Yeah, no. I just want you to consider that kind of weird possibility.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So here are
All right,
some other interesting.
Now we're going to bring together, perhaps the earliest Sami indigenous people of Finland, Sweden, and Norway worship Bawe, the sun god of fertility and sanity. She travels through the sky in a structure made of reindeer bones with her daughter Bawe Naya, to herald back the greenery on which the reindeer feed. So anyway, I wanted to just show that there is this connection to reindeer that begins, of course, in Finland.
And flying through the air.
And flying through the air. So let's see now.
Santa,
so you have Santa in Finland. Santa originated probably somewhere around in Finland. No, seriously.
Is that where the...
Still celebrated. Keep going.
Okay, yeah.
And there they are.
Okay.
You know, the archetype, the icon of Santa
Flying
and
with
the
reindeer.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
here's another icon.
All right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's
Lighting.
the perfect Christmas tree in the perfect living room, right?
Okay.
And here's the other perfect Christmas tree,
New York,
Rockefeller Plaza, and people are ice skating. Have you ever seen this? It's
So
wonderful.
beautiful.
And it's been going
done
on
for centuries.
It's
Yeah.
been going on forever.
Lighting up.
And
the
this is the grotesque tree.
Kinda
I just had to show
excessive.
this anyway.
Too much.
It's a little bit much. And
Yeah.
there's Santa reading his note. It's just the archetypes
Isn't
of
that sweet?
our Santa.
Wait a minute.
But wait a minute. Santa was a shaman.
Really? Flying through the air?
Yeah.
Amanita colors?
This is a book about the ancient origins of Santa, in case
Okay.
you want to go deeper. But we're beginning to bring together the goat. The reindeer, I don't know, becomes a goat somehow,
That's
and then
strange.
Santa's on the goat, and we have the Yule goat. So the Yule goat wasn't also a Northern European winter tradition. And I'm sure. Wait, go back for a second, because I want to just show you that the Yule goat at the bottom, they're little Yule goats. You can get little Yule goats, but you should keep them away from the fire. And then there are the big Yule goats. And they make them, like there's a lot of them. And there's a big crowd going to see the biggest Yule goat, some big Yule goat.
Wow.
And next,
I want one of these next year.
oh, we should build one. And then they put it on fire. It's just like Burning
goat.
Man in winter solstice. Okay, but we're going to have a huge fire tonight. It's going to be incredible.
Crazy.
But
We should
anyway,
do
so
that.
this is the Yule goat tradition, and the Yule goat and Santa. I mean, I don't know. They somehow became. Don't you love these costumes? I want these costumes. Really, Alex and I should wear these. But anyway,
Next year as Yule
Yes.
goats.
Yule goats. Yes, for Santa. Well, there they are, Saint Nicholas and Krampus. So Krampus. Keep going. We know a little bit about Saint Nicholas. But Krampus, let's just say, in the German-speaking Alpine folklore, Krampus is a horned anthropomorphic figure For Christmas, Krampus punishes children who misbehave, while St. Nicholas rewards well-behaved children with gifts. Now, don't we all know? But look at that. Look at these old cards where they're really persecuting these children, honestly.
Now, we made a little film, a little video.
Oh, we have a video for you about this.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Are we going to do that now? Is that where we're going?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I want to just show you this first. This is St. Nicholas and Krampus, a painting by our very own Perry Kroger. I shouldn't own him. He's an incredible artist in his own right. But that's his painting of Krampus. But we're not finished. No, we're nowhere near finished. We're going to show you a little bit more about Krampus and
right. You're going to roll
St.
it.
Nicholas. Rolling. Across the sea, high up in an alpine town, on the 5th of December, the eve of St. Nicholas' feast day, on the night they call Krampuslauf, you can see dear old St. Nicholas and his wily horned friend, Krampus, take to the winding road and make their way from house to house. Stopping to knock on the doors of each village family. Mutter, Vater, Schwester, Brutter, all wait impatiently at home for their visit. Kindly, St. Nicholas offers the little ones gifts of tasty candy. That is, if you've been a good girl or boy. Then the sweets are all yours. But if you've been naughty, but if you've been naughty, then Krampus will take his birch branch to you, whip you, and chase you round and round from room to room until he has you tight in his furry fingers. Then he drops you into his basket made of twigs and carries you away, a helpless brat strapped to his furry back. And you are swept off to who knows where. But wait a minute. I think there's somebody coming.
I
Wait a
think
minute.
you're right.
Oh,
I think oh, geez, we got a Krampus and St.
my
Nicholas
God.
right here. Oh my God,
they're here.
Watch your tail, Krampus. Watch your tail. Give it up for Krampus and St. Nicholas.
Woo! Woo! Come on over here. Come on over here, darling. Oh, it's so good to see you. Well, Krampus, you're looking particularly good this year. Excellent.
Oh, it's got a mind of its own, sorry.
Well, guten Weihnachten.
Yeah, you know, I lost a couple pounds. You know, feeling good. Hiking around that wisdom trail. I came from Eastern Europe. Feeling good, though. See some familiar faces out here. Hello, TJ. Or Vatu, that's his demon name.
Throw him some candy.
Oh, who wants some candy? Anybody want some candy? Who's been good?
Fingernail. He
Oh,
lost a
no,
fingernail.
it'll grow back. Who's been good this year? Raise your hand. You been good? You been good? Okay, heads up, here it comes. Over here, somebody, you been good? Oh, watch out. Oh.
I do have an observation. Today in Wappinger Falls, the truck went by and in it had a Santa Claus, and with him was someone special. Now, I know in America we do not have the Krampus, but I think that we do now, because in the truck with Santa Claus was the Grinch. And I thought, could this be the American Krampus? Because he is the evil and the Santa is the good guy, you know, that's the same thing. So that's my observation for this year. That's it.
That's very astute, St. Nick. I agree.
So we'll be traveling along the gray house and stuff with our candy if you get hungry. And we'll be giving you more candy even if you're not hungry. We don't care. We'll stuff it down you. Oh, okay. I don't know, but shall we go now?
It's so delightful to see you. I just wanted to
Thank you.
thank you again for coming. All right.
Down right here.
Thank you,
Love
Alex.
you guys.
Okay. Well, we would love to. Should we encourage the
Yeah, we wanted to invite
Yeah.
each of you to consider something like in your life that you would like, kind of to amplify, to magnify, to light up,
Like a New
in
Year's
in
resolution,
in this,
basically.
coming year. Like,
Yeah.
what do you feel like you want to kind of grow, and maybe something you want to let go of. It's kind of like that time. You can think of things that way. In restarting, rebooting, whatever your creative energies are like going into. So
So
think
wait, so
think
just-
about it
so-
inside, and then like
Could I say something?
yes.
Just think about that right now. Do you have a New Year's resolution? Do you have something that you'd like to let go of? Just silently for 1 second. Okay. And now, when you're ready, everybody, we're encouraging you to turn around and find somebody that you haven't met yet, you don't know, and introduce yourself to them and tell them, share with them your intention and something that you'd like to let go. Okay? Something that you can share. All right? So, but just introduce yourself first and get to know them. Pick an A and a B, and we'll tell you when it's time to switch, okay? Go. Find somebody. Find somebody new, you guys. Turn around. No. Everybody meet somebody new. Yeah. Okay, everybody, switch. If you haven't switched, switch now. Switch now. Nothing works quite as well as that horn. I'm trying to get everybody back together and unified. But here's the other thing that we're going to do to get together and unified. Is everybody with me? Let's just 3 ahs. We're just going to do 3 ahs. Let me take a deep breath.
We love to use that mantra. The Tibetan Buddhist teacher that we studied with, Namkhai Norbu, said that that's the sound of primordial perfection, and that each one of us has that pure Buddha nature, that enlightened spirit is already there. And we just have obscurations or obstacles to recognizing our already enlightened state. So I always loved that as like, you're not incomplete, you know, you're just not quite seeing it yet. And so I always loved that as a beautiful kind of sound of a prayer of that primordial perfection, just to remember it, you know.
Well, since we just did, you know, everyone was sharing their intentions, and, you know, we wanted to, for just a few moments, share with you our intention. This is our intention this year, and that is to be launched into putting the sculptures on this building. I mean, yeah. Now, some of you who've been to full moons or tuned in or whatever may know that we have found this wonderful engineer who is really excited about the project. You know, he's a man in New York City whose company has been repairing ornamental concrete on falling apart old buildings all over New York, and he's made a living of this, and a company of engineers that do this. And it's this most perfect thing for us because our building will be probably most likely cast reinforced concrete. I mean, fiberglass.
And he's an expert in this and understands how to waterproof a building and everything. So you can see, I mean, the idea is basically it's one big head and with 30 faces. So it goes around completely around the building. And so it's more or less saying that, you know, there's a oneness of spirit, because there's different like representations of different world religions and all these emblems, and a bunch of ones that aren't necessarily religions, but they're important. So the idea of evolution is built into it, and this transcendent unity of spirit. And you can see the door, creating a better world, is already there. And this is around back on the patio.
And of course, we have the steeplehead.
Yep.
And
the
that
soul
was,
bird.
you know, and how did we get the steeplehead? We visioned it into being. We looked at steepleheads. We made MakerBot steepleheads. We sold little ones for people's altars. We put them all over, and we all visioned it together, and miraculously, it was funded, and we put it up on top of the building. I mean, that's how you vision something. So we are inviting you to envision this into being with us, because, you know, we're going to make models of this, and we're going to make model plaques of this, and we have T-shirts with this, and we're going to keep looking at it until it actually appears.
It's looking more
It happens. I'm telling you. So we're working on that, and you just being here is part of that, and that's why
Yeah.
we're laying these images in front of you.
Yes. Planting
know.
seeds.
Planting seeds.
Yes.
This is a corner
'Cause
angel.
Exactly. If we hold it in our imaginations, that helps create the field of energy needed to make it happen. So a good thought in that direction. By the way, the eyes, the portals there are the only window in this building. So you get to look out the
One at a time.
third eyes of the
Only
Godhead,
one person
basically.
can get up in
Yeah.
there at a time. But that's the building we're in. It is a beautiful, minimalist work of architecture that we created, practically a cube, and or no, at least it's a square. I mean, it's rectangular. Actually, it's about 65 by 75. And anyway, this is us, and we got the doors on there, which is not in this picture.
Right.
So, but little
That's
by
the
little.
intention this year. That's the intention
That is
this
it.
year. We'll get the drawings,
Yeah.
and then they're submitting it to various people that could actually build it. And it is challenging because it's a complex kind of thing for people to take on. But I think that it's going to happen.
But what I wanna-
so
Okay.
I mean, look, 22 years ago, we were like in our loft, having no idea how anything could ever like happen with a chapel or anything, and we didn't have the money or anything, and so now we're here. So I'm convinced this thing wants to happen, and
Right. Yes, and to be enduring, it had to be concrete, and to be enduring, it has to be beautiful. It has to be an attraction. It has to be, it has to attract people here and represent physically the visionary,
mystical, psychedelic, mystical experience in some way, to at least be a place to talk about it and think about it, have conversations about it.
This is the nth urn for your ashes and your stashes.
Or your stashes.
Or
Not-
your
not at the
stashes,
same
or
time,
both.
no.
I think both is good. But anyway, it's bronze. It's heavy. It's earnest. It's an earnest urn. and as an interspiritual, radically welcoming art church, we felt that we needed an urn when my parents both died, and that was a really great thing that Alex designed it. It's beautiful and it's available, and it's a level of support for CoSM. You may want to know what you can do if you're inspired, and we're just saying, you're here. This is one thing you've already done, and we're so appreciating you. You can also become a member. It's the time of year, to kind of start a membership. It's very reasonable, and there's a lot of benefits. So I won't go into all that, but really become a member tonight. You can just go into anybody that, any of the stores or anywhere, and people will help you if you want to become a member tonight. So we really love you, and this is the final temple that we have planned. We hope we might actually build this right on the land. I'm just foreseeing the technology developing to the place where we can, in our 80s, we'll just build it right here on the land.
Set up the grid, Mama. Bring
Set
the
up the
robot.
grid. Bring the builders.
We just
They're doing it already. I mean, I see it on IG. It's like they're building buildings, printing them out. You've seen it. So anyway,
the
but this is going to be
spitting spiders will be at it again.
But the vision is to create a space for a temple for the permanent collection, including the sacred mirrors, and then to have the entire space here in Entheon be dedicated and devoted to the visionary art movement
of the world,
basically, of the
other
world, that's
art, other
ongoing,
artists,
the
yeah.
ongoing visionary art world. So in any case, that is our intention. We like to share that.
Yeah, one day.
But here's the thing. It's a little bit of homework if you really want to take it on. I really, really bless you with it, and that is anybody that you talk to tonight, that you meet, and meet a lot of people. That's the way community happens. Share your intention, and even the thing that you're, holding back on. These are the conversations that you want to be having, because when you share your intention inspiringly to others, and you got to practice to get really inspiring. You don't want people to be yawning when you're telling them your intention. You got to be, pithy and concise and impactful. But in any way, when you do share your intention inspiringly to others, it empowers your intention. They come back, they see you in the grocery line. How is that chapel thing coming along that you've been talking about so much? You know what I mean? And it really helps you to move whatever it is that you want along. So anyway, thank you so much for your attention with this.
Yeah, now we're going to have Alexa come and talk to us about what's happening
Future
tonight.
news,
And,
Alexa.
Oh
Here
my
she is. Give her a big
gosh.
round of applause. Come on.
Hi.
We love her.
Give it up for these two. Aren't they the best? Ay, Dios mío. And while we're cheering, give it up for the CoSM staff, everybody who's helping put this event together. How's it going? We're good?
Super awesome.
Likewise.
Thank goodness I practice being not non-deserving, I always practice that. It's the thing to do, though.
It's
if you want
true.
miracles to happen, practice being not deserving.
Deserving and also
worthy.
receive.
Worthy is different, though. Worthy.
Yeah.
But not deserving.
Well,
We don't deserve. We just
amen to that.
get miracles to happen.
And we receive those miracles when they come through. Mm-hmm. We just shake it up. Yeah.
We'll receive them.
Cowabunga. Okay, so train has left the station, clearly, and we are just getting started tonight. Are you ready to have the best night of your life? I already asked once, but I'm asking again. Yeah! Sorry, I started barking. I'm so excited. Okay, so forgive me. So after the ceremony concludes, they're going to do a final benediction once I'm done here. Hang out. Explore Entheon. It's going to be open till about 11, maybe some 11 and some change. There's a beautiful Sacred Mirrors room right back in that hallway, in case you didn't know. It's right there. So go check that out. You two will be hanging out for a little bit in here, but we're going to be roaming around as well because Entheon is a zone, the Gray House is a zone, and the outside bonfire area is a zone. So we got a couple of environments for you to dip your toes in, or your whole leg, whatever, your whole body if you want. Just know how to swim. Anyways, starting at 8:45, we have music beginning in the dance hall. Please give it up for Malachi, Feel, and Park Breezy. Give it up for them. And also, we got Zone Drums with some live drumming. He's going to be sitting in for all those sets, so give it up for Zone Drums as well. I'm very excited about the music tonight. We are going to get down with our bad selves. We're going to be bad mamma jammas. I'm seeing a bunch of them out here in the crowd tonight. So definitely get grooving. We're going to have the music piping through the whole house. We're going to have it outside as well. So if you feel like you don't want to miss out on the music, but you want to go check out some other areas, we got you covered. It's going to be everywhere. We got the Function One sound system powered by Sounds Organic tonight. We want that good quality sound. We like good sound here at the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. Also in the Gray House, we have some fabulous live painters in the house tonight. Please give it up for Ka Morastrea, Spiro, Rosa Barrel, Brian Zigafus, and Eileen Rosie Rose. Give it up, give it up. They're going to be pushing pigments all night long. Ka contributed to the Mushroom Cafe, and she added some more amanitas to the Mushroom Cafe. Very appropriate for the times. So definitely check that out. Speaking of the Mushroom Cafe, we got food. We got drinks. We got some winter drink specials with these really delicious marshmallows and other stuff, cacao and all that good stuff. So we got mushroom chowder. It's a must try. You got to go for it. So definitely make sure you're being fed. Make
Got
sure
some wrap sandwiches.
wraps.
Oh, you got it.
Here. We got sandwiches. We got, I think we have chili too. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure we have chili. So if you're feeling chilly, go get some chili. There's also going to be some baked goods and snacks in the dance hall as well. So if you're just like, I'm thirsty, just go over to the other table and you can get a drink and not miss a beat. We want to make sure that you're comfortable and happy, if you can't tell. And check out the live painting. You can also enhance your evening with a touch of artistry. Visit Brandy Petit for stunning henna designs that will leave you glowing with beauty and intention. She has a couple different time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, if you really want to ball out. You can sign up for that in the Gray House shop. Again, you can sign up for that in the Gray House shop. We also have the Community Sand Mandala, which you brought up a little earlier. Rosie and Mike, put your hands up. Look at them. They're the best. And if you've never been to a CoSM event before, the Community Sand Mandala is totally one of our favorite anchor points for all of our events. And it's an opportunity for you to practice non-attachment and set intentions. So if you have an intention that you want to kind of materialize artistically, the Sand Mandala is a really great place to do that, I would say. Would you agree? They would agree. Great. So we'll start an opening sort of ritual around 9:30, and that will be in the Gray House Library, and that will go pretty much all the way to the end of the event. And right at the end, we'll do the dissolution of the Sand Mandala, so that Buddhist practice of shoveling that sand to the center, and then you can collect some sand. We give out little baggies of sand. So just saying, you should grab one of those. I've had one on my altar since like 2019.
You put it on your altar. It's made of crystal. It embodies, all the thoughts and feelings in every crystal, and it is good for your altar, but it's good for your garden. It's good for whatever. Take some sand home with you.
Don't eat it. I mean, do whatever you want, but that sounds rough. But there's a lot of great things that you can kind of empower in the sand, and thank you, Rosie and Mike, for always offering that to this community. If you have any questions, if you need assistance, if you need something at all, we got you, okay? Find someone with a staff badge. Find one of our peaceful peacemakers, our security team. We want to make sure that you feel heard. We want to make sure you feel safe. We want to make sure you're having fun. So if at any point you need anything, just try to wave one of us down, and we will either help answer your question or point you in the right direction, okay? Make sure that you're taking care of each other. Make sure you're drinking that H2O neat.
And those security people in the black uniforms, they are our friends. They are our gentle giants. So you can always trust them, and you can always go to them if you need anything.
Give it up for our peacekeepers. They're the best. Oh, I'm feeling so good. This is our last event of the year, so this is about to be popping. We have a great turnout. We sold out tonight, so give yourselves a round of applause for making it in.
Woo! Yay!
We love that. Definitely check out our events calendar, because the new year is buzzing with full moon gatherings and a slew of amazing workshops that are even posted all the way through September at this point. Rosie and Mike are actually going to be teaching a mandala workshop in April, so keep your eye out for that.
Do not miss this. If you have this, they are so wonderful. All levels, welcome.
Yeah, you two.
You're gonna love it.
You're teaching start a
I'm
painting.
teaching start a painting after the new year. Really, I mean, even if you've started 100,000 paintings, start a painting with us. We're gonna have guest speakers. Here's one right here. We're gonna have guest stars coming in talking to us about start a painting, and it's a great time to kind of explore that, whether you're a beginner or a professional or whatever. We paint with everybody, so there's still a few spots left in the class. It's not until March, and it is a 5-day.
So 5-day.
Yeah.
And they'll be teaching the painting intensive, the art intensive. So we try to offer things for all levels of experience. We try to offer things for all different types of visual mediums, as well as like producing and performing electronic music with cloud chord.
But I have to say, the visionary
Yeah.
painting intensive application
Yeah.
will go up in
It's up.
January.
It's up.
It's up
Yeah.
already. And they're coming in. And there's also the visionary art intensive. But the visionary painting intensive is for advanced painters. And, you just have to come up with 3 outstanding, gorgeous pieces and, put them on there and write your little paragraph, your artist statement, which is a great idea to do for every artist, and join the class if you can. But if you can't, try the Visionary Art Intensive, which is also all levels, and it's a wonderful opportunity to think visionary. Think like, how do you get your images and how do you get them out on the paper? That's something that we really address. Where do our images come from, and how do we manifest them, and then how do we get them out? And we practiced that with Rosie for 28 summers at Omega, and we're going to be teaching that for the first time this summer here
Yeah.
with a smaller group, much smaller group.
So,
That's what I like.
as you can tell, these are enriching opportunities to fuel your creativity. So definitely do it. And have yourselves a merry little time tonight. Happy holidays, Happy New Year, and God bless. I'll
Thank
pass
you,
it back
Alexa.
to you too.
Everybody, let's thank
Thank
Alexa.
you.
She is the most amazing human. Well, Alex wrote this right before we left. So it's brilliant, though. And so we're going to read it to you. And it's the winter solstice prayer. Thank you,
Yeah.
Alex.
Well, like winter solstice becomes an occasion for kindling lights, whether it's a candle or a bonfire. So, because the shortest day is also the longest night. So let us turn inside for a moment of prayer.
Thank you, Great Spirit, for the miracle of life on earth and the web of nature we share with countless plants and creatures. On this longest, darkest night, protect us, protect our beloveds. Great Spirit, bring the light of care and healing to those in need.
As we reflect on this longest, darkest night, we're grateful for mushrooms that grow in the dark, spreading life throughout the woods. We're grateful for the darkness that animals need for hibernation. Thank you for the darkness of our ignorance that gives rise to yearning for knowledge. We're grateful for the darkness of night that soothes us to sleep, charging the batteries of our creative soul.
We know that this season of darkness will soon begin to brighten. Let us visualize in our hearts a light that grows brighter with each breath. Thank you, Great Spirit, the light of our soul that guides our way. Please strengthen the light of our love and good health. Amplify our ability to create beauty with our expressions.
Imagine the light inside of our chest as the reborn sun. All the tremendous power of life is contained in this sun of awareness. See the stars send out glistening rays throughout our body. This purifying light radiates in all directions of space, recalling any lost portions of soul power, magnetizing and retrieving any aspects of fragmented selfhood. This star in our hearts sends out healing rays to all layers of our physical and energy bodies. Our soul essence is one with the sun, shining with truth, beauty, and goodness. May the growing light of each day empower your creative renewal of body, mind, and spirit throughout the coming months opening paths of knowledge and wisdom.
Amen. And may any merit generated by this gathering be offered to the benefit and liberation of all beings.
Happy winter solstice.